Hello and welcome to another tutorial. This tutorial is going to be on a tool giving GUI just like this. So if I click on this person and I select tools, I can deselect them, whatever, then click give. It will give them those tools. I can't really prove it that they actually have tools, but see, they said yes, and I'll ask them to give them back to me, just to prove this does work. And I can give, never mind, so it does work. Okay, so basically you can give tools by clicking on them, click on the person, and then giving the tools. See, I just got those tools. Okay, make sure you watch the end of this video because it's very important you do. If you don't want to watch the whole video, make sure you skip to the end, because at the end I say a lot of things that I did wrong during the tutorial, because I did this sort of like off the cuff, I guess you'd say. I didn't do it, I didn't plan it out beforehand, and there are a few errors that will stop it working if you don't fix them. So just make sure you watch it till the end, or skip to the end so you know what those errors are. Thank you. And I've got some tools in the starter pack here just so I can test it out as we go along. And this is basically going to be a tool giving GUI for people who are in a certain who are a certain rank in a certain group. So this should be used for stuff like cafes. This was requested for me. I'm not sure who by, I can't remember, sorry. But yeah, I'll send in more suggestions. These are really, they have to be good, otherwise I won't use them, but yeah. So first we're going to create a script in script service, and this script is going to say local, what am I doing? Oh yeah, local giving script equals script wait for child give tools, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. Okay. Then we're going to say local group. Sorry about this bad typing. I don't know why this is happening. Group ID, and this is going to be the ID of the group you want to have the GUI. Right, so we're going to take, I'm going to be using my Roblox fan group, and we're just going to take this ID from the URL and stick it in this variable group ID. Right, now we're going to have an event which fires every single time a user joins the game. So we're going to say game players, player added, connect function, and in these two brackets we're going to put PLR, which stands for player. Then we're going to say if player get rank in group, and then we're going to say group ID, which is the group ID we want which is the group ID we want people who are a certain rank in to get the GUI of. Then, and we're going to put something here, but let's quickly show you what I mean when I'm doing this. Okay, so if you go to the group that you want people to have the GUI who are a certain rank over in, and you go to group admin and you go to roles, you'll see here there's this thing called rank, and you'll see the owner is 255 and the fans, or the default lowest rank, is 1. So basically there should be a point where you want people to get the GUI, and below that point you don't want people to get the GUI. So here you can see that moderators are 254 and I'm 255, but fans are only rank 1. So that means I could do anything over, say, rank 200 gets this GUI. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that means anyone over rank 200, which is somewhere between here, gets, so these two, the moderators and SteadyOn, gets this GUI. So we're going to say, we're going to go back to here and we're going to say is more than 200. So if their rank in the group is more than 200, then giving script clone parent equals player scripts. Okay, now you're probably wondering what is giving script, because there's nothing in this script. Just name this something, tool giving system, I guess. There's no script in here, so we're actually going to make, so there's no script in here, so we're actually going to make a script and a GUI to do all this stuff. So in starter GUI, we're just going to create a screen GUI here, and we'll call it tool giver, and then we're going to create inside this screen GUI a frame. I'll anchor it in the center of the screen, I think. There we go. And position 0.50, 0.50. And let's make it say 0.4 by 0.6 maybe. There we go. Maybe a bit smaller this way. Okay. This isn't going to be anything fancy because you should really be designing it yourself, because it makes your cafe or whatever this is, restaurant, more special, more unique. But you can copy this if you want. There'll be a link to this whole game in the description. So you can copy the scripts and make your own GUI if you want to, or you can edit the scripts, etc, etc. Okay, so we're going to call this main frame, because this is the main frame. And then we're going to create a text label, which we're going to make the full size of the top and maybe 0.15. Yeah, that should do. And then we're going to scale the text, make the background invisible, and I think I'll make the font source sans bold, and we'll call this tool giving interface. Okay, so we've got basically nothing, but it's looking okay. Obviously, as I said, make this look nice, make this fit in with your game. You can do whatever you want to this as long as you keep the basic stuff. Yeah, okay. Now we're going to create a text button, and this is going to be for closing the GUI. The reason I'm doing this now is because I always forget to make a close button for my GUIs. So if I just do it now, I won't forget to do that. There we go. And in here we're just going to say close. I'll make it source sans bold, no border, and we'll do it a nice light reddish color. There we go. Doesn't seem scaled. It's not scaled. Okay, there we go. And we'll make the anchor point 0.51. Okay. And then we're going to position it in the middle of the frame and at the bottom. Maybe not right at the bottom, like that. There we go. And then we're going to create another one, which is going to be give. So this is going to give the tools to whatever player. And I'll make this a greeny color. So yeah, that's a nice color. And we'll just position this maybe 9.3, 9.2 then. There we go. And I'll say give in that. Right. So we've got close and give, and we also want to have another one called which says the player's name that you're giving it to in. So let's position this like a 0.8 and make it 0.5. Let's get 8.2. Yeah, okay. So where these three dots are, there should be the player's name that you're giving the tools to. So what's the one thing we're missing? We're missing a frame in the middle of the screen which has all the player who's giving the tools to the other player tools in it. Sorry about that. I haven't muted Twitter. Hopefully there's not too many notifications through this tutorial. Okay. 0.5, 0.5. Okay. So we don't want this to be the full size of the screen. We want it to be, oops, almost the full size, but not the full size. So yeah, that's quite good. Although it covers the player's name. So maybe 6, and I'll put it slightly higher up as well. 6.5, 4.75. Actually, I'll make this anchored at 0. There we go. Okay, no border, and I'll make it maybe. There we go. That's good. It's good transparency. And in here we're going to say tools, and we're going to put a UI list layout in it, which basically makes everything go in a list layout, and I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to create a text button, which will be for the tool. So this will be, let's just call it ice cream for the sake of this. Actually, no, we'll just call it tool. Else, just to show you what I mean. We're going to make this 0.8 when it's not selected, and we'll make the source sans bold again. And what I mean is, say this says ice cream, then there'll be lots of tools, and this will be all the tools in the player's inventory. actually you'll already have seen the video at the beginning showing how this works, but yeah, but yeah, so you'll know how this works, but yeah. So that's what UI list layout does, though. It makes them all go in a list like that. I also clip this because otherwise, so there'll be a maximum of however that many is 2, 4, 6, 8, about 9 tools there, I think. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I think it's 8 tools there. Anyway. Yeah, there are. Okay, sorry. So these are all the... Oops. Didn't mean to do that. These are all the tools. But we're not going to put them here. We're actually going to move that later. But this is this GUI done. Now we're going to create a script in start to player scripts. Although we're not actually going to leave it in here, this is the equivalent of what we're going to where we're going to put it if the player's in the group. So I'll call this tool giving local. If you understand scripting to some extent, you'll understand, or you've seen my filtering enable tool sort of explanation video, then you'll understand what local side and server side means. This is mostly on the local side, apart from the actual giving tools, which happens on the server side, because you can't do it on the local side. Okay. So local GUI equals script. I'm actually going to move this into script. Wait for child, just because sometimes it doesn't always work. Tool giver. And also we're going to take the tool, if you remember inside this frame here, we're going to take the tool button out and we're going to put it directly into the script. So we're going to make another one called tool button, and that's going to be script tool. And also do a wait for child here as well, just to make sure it works perfectly. And lastly, we can have a variable called PLR, which stands for player, and this is going to be game players local player. So that's the player that's giving the tool. Now we're going to say, actually, there is one more. Mouse equals player get mouse, and then we're going to say, what are we going to do? Okay, we're going to say every time the player clicks. So we're going to say mouse button 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Button 1 down. Sorry, I'm thinking about GUI. Button 1 down. Connect function, so this is a event, and then we're going to say local target equals mouse target. So that's the part that the mouse is facing at. So basically the part that the person's just clicked on. Then we're going to say if target parent find first child humanoid root part, then basically that works out if it's a player's character or not, because every character has a humanoid root part in it. Okay, it's like the main part of the character. Then we're going to say local giving PLR equals game players get player from no, that's wrong, sorry. Get player from character target parent. There. Right. So now giving player is the player we're giving the tool to. PLR, or player, short for player, is the player who's giving the tools. Now we're going to want a variable called tools, which is all the tools that the player who's giving the tools has. So tools is going to be PLR, so the local player, backpack, get children. So that gets all the tools in the player's inventory, basically, or backpack, if you wanted to call it that. Then we're going to say local current GUI. So this is the GUI we're using at the moment. Is GUI. So that's this up here. Sorry, clone. And then we're going to say if, because just in case the player still hasn't crossed off their last one they were using when they clicked on someone else. If player GUI, sorry, actually, not player. If giving player, no, actually, no, sorry, it is if player. Player GUI, find first child, what's it called? Tool giver. So that's if there's already a GUI with the same name, then we're going to delete that. Destroy. Right. So, what have we got so far? Well, every time the player clicks on something, it will check if that thing is a person's character. If it is that person's character, we'll get it will get that person's player, and it will show a GUI on the player's screen. So we're part of the way there. But now we want to show the tools that the player who's giving the tools has, so they can select them. So we're going to say for_tools in pairs tools, which is all the tools in the player's backpack, if you remember. Do actually, we're not going to say tools, we're going to say tool because it's already been used here. And then we're going to say local tool current button, we'll call it, equals tool button clone. Okay. Then we're going to say current button text equals tool name, and then we're going to say current button parent equals current GUI mainframe tools. Then once it's done that, which is basically making a button for all the tools in the player's inventory, up to 8 I think it is, or 9, I can't remember. After that we're going to say current GUI parent equals player GUI. So basically showing the GUI to the player. Okay. So we're quickly just going to test this out, just to make sure everything's working perfectly. I'm pretty sure it is, but I haven't made a test version of this or anything. This is the first time making this. So let's just quickly test this. Sorry about the waiting time. Okay, so we've now got a player, and click on there. Here we go. So we've got all of our tools here. As you can see, we've got cake, ice cream, and a muffin. I just got these out of the toolbox, so I don't know what they are. But you can see we've got all our tools here. If we switch to the other player, and we do the same thing to this player, we've got all our tools here. And we haven't actually scripted the close or giving things yet, but we'll do that in a second. Okay. So we know that's working. Now we're going to say, we're going to put the script in the GUI, actually. This is not going to be a very complicated script. All this is actually going to do is make the close button work. So close script parent close mouse button one click connect function script parent destroy. Okay, that means we can now that means we can close the GUI now. Okay. Now let's go back to the script again here, and we're going to say, actually, we're going to put this above the for loop, and here we're going to say current button mouse button one click connect function. And then we're going to create an array up here, and I'll just leave a space here so that it's obvious. And in this array we're going to say giving tools equals table. Right. Now we're going to say, so if it's been clicked, then we're going to add to the array giving tools. Sorry, no. Yeah, giving tools. Oops, sorry. We're going to add to giving tools this tool. And we're also going to make the current button transparency, I think. What's it called? Background transparency. We're going to make it like 0.3. We're also going to say if current button background transparency is equal to 0.3, then that means it's already been selected. Then we are going to do something else. But if it hasn't already been selected, then else, which has not been selected, we're going to do this. And I literally just need to actually look up how you remove things from tables, because I've forgotten how you do that. Second. Oh, you did essentially just table remove, I think. Okay, yeah, this works. It works. Okay, so if it's already been opened, then we're going to say table remove the tool, and the background transparency is going to go back to 0.8. Right, now we're going to say local, we're going to make another variable. I'm going to zoom out a bit so you can actually see what's going on. We're going to make another variable called local give button, and that's going to be the current GUI mainframe give. We're going to say give button mouse button one click connect function, and this is going to be giving the tools. So when this happens, we're actually going to remove the current GUI because we don't want it anymore. Also, I just remembered we haven't put the player name where the dots are, so we're just going to quickly do that. I'm going to say current GUI mainframe player text equals giving player name. There we go. And what we're going to do now is we're going to say for. Actually, sorry, let me just think about this. Okay, I know what we're going to do. So I'm going to say local replicated folder equals instance new. Oops, sorry. Instance new folder game replicated storage. Then we're going to say for tool in pairs giving tools do tool parent equals replicated folder. Okay. So what this actually does is it puts a folder filled with all of the tools that the player who's giving the tools has, wants to give, sorry, and then that folder will automatically be sent to the server since it's in a replicated storage which is shared by the server and the client, and then when an event is sent to the server saying give these tools to the player, it will give that exact set of tools to the player. So this isn't very good if you're worried about exploiting, because it basically means someone can transfer tools over to another player. So there are ways you can stop that happening, but I'm assuming in most cases people don't want it. People just want them to give the tools that the player has. So for now, I mean, I could make another tutorial showing how to make this securely so they can't send random tools that they've given themselves over. But I think if I was to make it the way I'm thinking of making it, it might break your game. So this is the best way of doing it. Okay, if that made any sense. Now we're going to go back up to the top and we're going to make a variable called local giving event, and that's going to be game replicated storage wait for child give player tools. Right, giving event, and then we're going to say here giving event via server, and the only argument is going to be replicated folder. Whew. Right, I think we've done the entire local script now. It's not very long, it's only 44 lines. All we need to do is now create a remote event in the server. So as you can see, I've just clicked on the script that's in the server script service, and we're going to create a remote event for what were we doing? I forgot. Tool give equals instance new remote event game replicated storage, and we're going to call it, what's it called again? Give player tools. There. Right. So basically what this does is when it's called, it will give the player you're trying to give the tools to. Actually, I forgot to do that. We are going to add a argument here. Parameter, I don't know, I can't remember. To it. So basically what it will do is it will give the other player the tools that they want to give the other player. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say tool give on server event connect, and we'll make a function called give tools. So let's make that function here, give tools, and there's going to be 3 arguments. So PLR, which is the player that's sending it. Then we're also going to say tool folder, which is the folder of tools, and lastly player to give. Wait, give player. Right. Now, I know we only give this script here to players who are in the group, but just in case somehow someone manages to acquire this GUI in another way, we're going to still perform a check, and we're going to say if PLR get rank in group, which is this again, group ID, is more than 200, then local tools equals tool folder get children tools for tool in pairs tools. So these are all the tools that want to be transferred. Do tool parent equals give player backpack. Once we've done that, we're just going to delete the tool folder, and I think we're done. So let's just... Okay, sorry, just going to say a few things, because I did get a couple of things wrong. So, you want to take that thing that checks whether or not the person's in the group or not, and you want to put it into the local script, and you want to take the local script out of this server script here and put it into the starter player scripts, and then yeah, that's basically it. But in here you're going to want to make another group ID thing saying your group ID as well as in the server one, and there's also one other thing. The best thing I can recommend doing is, even though you've watched this whole tutorial, there are still a few problems with it, and they're all fixed in the game that will be in the description. So if you just go there and compare your scripts to that game's scripts and then see what the edits are, because it might not work perfectly because I did a few things wrong when I was doing the tutorial. Thanks for watching. Sorry about doing these things wrong, but yeah. Leave a like or dislike if you didn't like it. Whatever. Thank you.